Okay, girls, are you ready for story time? We have a long story tonight. So get your popcorn because we are going to be telling the story of the Wizard of Oz. Yes, the Adventure Tales. Okay. Once upon a time, on the wide, empty prairie of Kansas, lived a little girl named Dorothy. Dorothy lived with her Aunt Em and Uncle Henry in a simple one-room farmhouse. It was not an easy life. The family worked hard to work out a living, and through her aunt and uncle loved her very much, they'd never had enough time to play with Dorothy. Dorothy did have a playmate, though, a little black dog named Toto. When she wasn't helping Aunt Em with her chores, she was playing with Toto. And Dorothy and Toto went everywhere together. Woof, 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 woof. You see her dog, Toto? But this afternoon, Dorothy and Toto were not playing. A storm blew in, and the family gathered in the house. Henry saw it. It was a tornado. To the cellar, he ordered, latching the front door behind him as he ran to put the animals in the barn. As Auntie Em climbed in the cellar, Dorothy ran to recover Toto, who ran under the bed. Okay, come listen. Suddenly, a great gust blew through the house, slamming the cellar door. Look at that. Wow, the house is up in a tornado. The house creaked and moaned as Dorothy sealed herself against the wind. She knocked off her feet and she fell onto the floor. Whoa! Ride whirled and swirled around into the storm. Away from Auntie Em. Away from Uncle Henry. Oh no, Toto, what will become of us? Said Dorothy. After what seemed like a long, long sleep, Dorothy woke to the warmth of the sun shining through the window. All was quiet. Where was Auntie? Where was Uncle? Dorothy rushed outside to look, but she didn't see Uncle or Auntie. She didn't see the barn. She didn't even see Kansas. The world that Dorothy saw was fruits of every color. Bright birds chirped in the trees, and a crystal clear brook babbled nearby. Toto whispered Dorothy to the little dog in her arms. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Look at where she is. It's so magical. Even as she stood there, a band of little people emerged from among the trees, cheering, "Hooray, hooray, the wicked witch is dead. The wicked witch is dead." They weren't children. No, they were little men, each of whom regarded Dorothy curiously. And one woman dressed all in white said, "Welcome to the land of Oz. I'm the Good Witch, and we're so happy you've come. A brave hero, and you're here to rid us of the Wicked Witch of the East." "But I'm not a hero," said Dorothy. "I'm not brave.
No.
And I just want to go back to Kansas." "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
"But what do you mean?" said the Good Witch. "She's dead. And I'd like to know where your slippers are."
What?
"Oh my," said Dorothy, her face flushing. "Well, what should I do?" "You need do nothing," said the Good Witch. "We are more than happy to be free of her." "This is all really quite startling," said Dorothy, feeling rather queasy. "I've never been in the land of Oz before.
No.
And already I'm feeling like I want to go home. Can you please show me how to get back home?"
Yeah.
"Well, I know nothing of Kansas," said the Good Witch. "But the land of Oz is surrounded by desert and no one can cross it." Oh, Dorothy began to cry. "But Uncle Henry, Aunt Em, I miss them." The little men, they felt bad for Dorothy. And they told her, "Don't cry, don't cry. This is a very beautiful country," Dorothy said very kindly. "And you must all be so happy here. But there's no place like Kansas. And my home is Kansas. And I must get back there. So isn't there anything you can do?" The little men began to think among themselves.
You must go to the Wizard of Oz in the Emerald City and see the Good Witch.
Perhaps he can help you. Oh, so Dorothy has to go see the Wizard of Oz. But how do I get there, asked Dorothy. I've never been here. I don't know how to get out of this city. I just want to go to Kansas. Well, you'll follow the yellow brick road, said the Good Witch. But first, put on these slippers. Yes, they have magical powers in them. Yes, they have magical powers and they will be helpful. You see those slippers she put on? Those red slippers? You see those sparkly red shoes? Dorothy didn't want to wear the red shoes, but she was obedient and she put them on. And the little men escorted her to the long, shiny yellow brick road. You see that yellow brick road? And there she said, she bade her goodbyes. That means she said her goodbyes. And her and Toto started on their way. After several hours, there came a scarecrow standing in the cornfield. Like most of the scarecrows Dorothy knew, he was made of straw. Hello, said Dorothy. My, you do look familiar, for there are scarecrows in Kansas.
No. I'm sure we haven't met. You don't know me. Are you the good or the bad witch?
I'm not a witch at all. But, well, this is weird. Our scarecrows don't talk in Kansas, said Dorothy.
Why not? Said the scarecrow. Can you help get me down? Said the scarecrow. These crows ignore me all day, and I haven't got a brain, and I just want to talk to them.
Dorothy approached the scarecrow, looking at him in his face curiously. Whew! I can't believe there's a pole holding him upright.
Oh, yes, that's better. Whew! It feels so good that you loosened up that pole for me a bit. Who are you, by the way, and where have you come from?
Well, I'm Dorothy, and this is Toto, and we are going to the Emerald City to see the Wizard of Oz. I'm going to ask him to send us back to Kansas, because there's no place like home, you know. I wonder whether the wizard might give me a brain, said the scarecrow. Well, I don't know, said Dorothy, but, I mean, would you like to come with us?
I think I just might as well. Yeah, I think he'll give me a brain.
So now it was Dorothy, Toto, and the scarecrow moving on down the yellow brick road. Hours later, Dorothy startled with a shout. Help me! Help me! Who's that? Dorothy cried. It's me, said the voice. Toto ran barking into the woods and Dorothy followed. There among the trees stood a Tin Man, frozen, motionless in his place. Please, said the Tin Man. I can't move. My joints have been rusted together. There's a can of oil on that stump. Can you get it for me? Dorothy got the can carefully and oiled the Tin Man's joints. Oh, that feels so good, he said, giving his whole body a long stretch. Oh, what a relief. I've been stuck for a year, and I was afraid I might run away completely. Who are you, by the way, and where have you came from? I'm Dorothy, and this is my dog Toto. We're going to the Emerald City to see the Wizard of Oz, and I'm going to ask him to send me back home, and there's no place like home, you know, and we're going to ask the scarecrow for a brain. Said the Tin Man. I don't have a heart, and it's sad to not to be able to love. Do you think the wizard might give me one? I don't know, said Dorothy. We might have to ask him. Would you like to come with us? I just might as well. So now it was Dorothy, Toto, the scarecrow, and the Tin Man all started walking down the yellow brick road. Several hours later, Dorothy heard a terrible roar. Roar! And Toto ran off under the bush.
Toto, come back here this instant. But Toto didn't come back. He said, oh no, what's that sound? Suddenly, a great lion came running out of the bush with Toto barking behind. Help, cried the lion. Help, help, someone save me from that vicious dog. Wait a minute, vicious dog, said Dorothy. This is a harmless little dog. You should be ashamed of yourself being scared of a dog, and you're a lion. I know, but I can't help myself. I have no courage, and I'm afraid of everything. Poor lion, said Tin Man. To be a lion with no courage must be a terrible thing. But at least you have a brain, said the Scarecrow. And a heart, said the Tin Man. There, said Dorothy to the lion. Don't cry, don't cry. We're going to see the Wizard of Oz, and we're going to ask the Scarecrow for a brain and the Tin Man for a heart. Perhaps he can make you a strong lion that's not afraid. Well, will he hurt me? The lion said scarily. Of course not, said Dorothy. Well, I guess I'll go. So now it was Dorothy, Toto, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the lion all started down the yellow. But together, the group did at last come to the end of the yellow brick road, and they got to the pearly gates of the Emerald City. The city was all green, and the gate was covered in rainbow sparkles. Even the gatekeeper, or chipper little man, was dressed in green. Chipper means happy. Who are you, he asked, and where have you came from? I'm Dorothy from Kansas. And these are all of my friends, all citizens of Oz. Except for Toto, of course. As you can see, he's a dog. Well, what is your business here, said the gatekeeper. Well, I want to go home, said Dorothy, and no one can help me. Sit down, Bobby. I was wondering. I was told there was a great wizard here who might help me. And I want a brain, said the Scarecrow, since I don't have one. And I want a heart, said Tin Man. Oh, and I want to ask him for some courage. For it's not nice to be scared and be a lion. But the great wizard hasn't seen anyone for a very long time, said the gatekeeper. He doesn't wish to be bothered. But wait, said Dorothy. The gatekeeper felt so badly that he agreed to take them to the palace. But hey, I'm warning you, the great wizard, he might be mad. The Emerald City was indeed a beautiful place, with its buildings of green marble and windows of green glass. Wow, everything's green, huh, guys? Yeah. All decorated with beautiful emeralds and diamonds. The citizens, like the gatekeeper, they wore green too. And they looked at Dorothy and her friends. When they reached the palace doors, the gatekeeper introduced the little group to the guard. They are here to see the great Oz, he said. The guard, too, looked at them strangely. Wait, he said, stepping into the palace doors. Finally, he returned. Oh, no, the great Oz will not see you. He said, go back to wherever you came from. He does not wish to be troubled. But I can't go back to Kansas, for I know not how to get there. So without another word, the soldier let them inside. First Dorothy and Toto, then Scarecrow, Tin Man, and last of all, he let in the lion. The soldier led them into the inner court. Opened the doors, and then hurried away. Are you sure you want to go in here, he said. I'm sure, said Dorothy. A little bit sure. Suddenly, a voice said, I am the great and terrible Oz. Who are you?
They all looked. Hovering over the throne was a great, great big head.
Oh, goodness.
The head was big with a long nose, wrinkled brow, heavy raised eyebrows, big angry looking eyes, and a mouth. The group, the group stood back as far as they could until their backs fell against the closed door.
No.
I'm Dorothy from Kansas, and these are my friends, she said.
Well, go back to Kansas, said the great Oz. Oh, let's go, said the lion. Let's get out of here.
No, said Dorothy. I don't know how to get back to Kansas, and I need your help. And Scarecrow needs a brain, and Tin Man needs a heart.
Oh, yeah, and I need some courage. Don't forget, Dorothy. Oh, well, why should I help you, said the wizard. Go away.
Suddenly, Toto jumped out of Dorothy's arms and ran, barking and snarling. Knocking over a screen in the back of the corner room, behind the screen stood a little old man. Look, it's not even a big wizard. It's a little old man. Who are you? Said Dorothy. Oh, I'm the great and terrible Oz, he said. But without his microphone, he didn't sound so great and terrible. You're neither great or terrible, said Dorothy. You're just a regular human, a humbug. Well, yes, but please don't tell anyone. Please, the people of Oz, they think I'm a great wizard. And if they find out that I'm just a man, they might not like me. See? They want me to be big and great. Well, said Dorothy. Do you know any magic? And I will keep your secret only if you show me how.
And you must give me a brain, and me a heart, and me some courage, said the lion.
The little man seemed very troubled. Oh my goodness. Okay, please give me until tomorrow. You can stay here overnight. The 4 friends in Toto were all given dinner, breakfast, and a place to sleep.
Oh.
And the great Oz will see them tomorrow. When they entered the room, the little man first called the Scarecrow. Scarecrow, please sit down. When he sat, the little man removed Scarecrow's hat. Take your hat off. Now this might hurt just a bit. No, said the Scarecrow. It won't. The little man gently parted the hay in the back of the Scarecrow's head and placed inside a large walnut, which indeed did look very much like a brain. Then he pulled the hay back together. That should do it, he said. I believe you'll find you're quite clever now. Thank you, said Scarecrow. I do feel smarter. And he began to recite figures to the delight of the present. The Scarecrow said, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 8. 16. 16 times 16 is 64.
Wow.
And then the man called next. The Tin Man. Please sit down, said the little man. I'll have to do a little surgery in order to install your heart. Keep your eye. He cut a little hole in Tin Man's body, into which he put a felt heart, and he had sewn it the night before. You see that heart he's putting in the Tin Man's chest?
Oh.
Then he carefully closed the door and sealed the hole. All finished, he said, patting Tin Man gently on the shoulder. Now you have your heart.
Well, I hope it's a kind and gentle one, said the Tin Man.
The kindest and the gentlest you'll ever find, said the Wizard of Oz. My turn, said the lion, hurrying to his place before the little man. I know, it will hurt, but I'm willing. I just want to get courage. I'm willing. Well, all you need to do is drink this, he told the lion, holding out a vial of green liquid.
Oh.
It is medicine. No, it's not medicine. It's courage, said the little man. or at least it will be when it's inside of you. So the lion drank it all up to the last drop.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel? Said the little man. The lion thought, how did he feel? And he said, I feel brave. He said at last with confidence. But what about me? Dorothy says. I want to go back to Kansas.
Yeah. She needs help.
No, Dorothy, we'll miss you. We'll miss you, said the Scarecrow. No, said the Tin Man. We want you to stay. Well, said Dorothy, hopefully you'll have each other. And I know that Auntie Em and Uncle Henry miss me too very much. They must be worried. And I really do need to go back to Kansas. Yeah, I bet you do, said the Scarecrow. So, said Dorothy, turning to the little man, can you get me home? Well, I'm afraid not, said the little man. A tear started down her cheek. Ah! The Tin Man put his arms around her, and a tear on his cheek came too. The Scarecrow put his hands on her shoulder, and the lion roared at the Oz. What do you mean, no? The little man answered very quickly, I can't get her home, but she can get herself home. Ooh, how? Tell me how. How can I get myself home?
Mommy.
The slippers, said the little man. The red shoes you're wearing.
Oh,
They're magic. That's all, said Dorothy. That's all, said Oz. All you have to do is click them together 3 times. Okay, said Dorothy, but I will never forget you. And just remember, you have courage, lion. You do. You're the strongest lion in the whole forest. And Tin Man, you now have a heart. You're kind and gentle, and you love everyone. And Scarecrow, you have a brain. You're so clever and so smart, and you can think your way out of any situation. And she said, looking at the little man, and you rest assured. And goodbye, Mr. Oz, and you be strong. And I don't know how I can ever thank all of you. But here I go. And after that, Dorothy kissed her friends on the forehead, and then she picked up Toto. And he was running behind her, of course. And she said, goodbye. Thank you all. Thank you all. And here we go. Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And she was gone. Wow. All of a sudden, Dorothy was in the arms of her Uncle Henry and her Aunt Em. Dorothy, darling, Dorothy, wake up. Wake up. Uncle Henry, Aunt Em. Oh, Dorothy. Dorothy, is the storm over? Is the storm over? Yes, it's over. How are you feeling? I feel fine. I'm so happy to be home. Of course you're home, dear. And we love you so much.
Yeah.
Dorothy was so happy that she had these little beautiful red shoes. That was such a good book.
Yeah.
And very long. I bet you're ready for bed now. So join us next time for our story. Bye-bye.